Welcome to Hey Gen Podcast. Today, we're diving into some fascinating research that could change how we think about aging.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. What's the big news?
So, a new study suggests that random genetic mutations might be directly linked to epigenetic changes. You know, those changes that don't alter our DNA code, but affect how our genes are expressed.
Wait, are you saying mutations and epigenetics are more connected than we thought?
Exactly. It's like we've been looking at two separate roads, and now we realize they're actually intertwined paths.
Yeah.
These mutations and epigenetic shifts might both be driving the aging process together.
That's mind-blowing. But how did they figure this out?
Well, the researchers looked at epigenetic clocks, the tools we use to measure biological age, but they
Right.
wanted to understand what makes these clocks tick, so to speak.
So they dug deeper into the mechanics?
Exactly. They theorized that the accumulation of random DNA mutations as we age could be affecting methylation patterns. That's one form of epigenetic change.
DNA methylation, the adding of methyl groups to DNA, right?
Yes, methyl groups attach to cytosine when it's next to guanine, forming what's called CpG sites. But if a mutation changes the C or
Yeah.
G, that site can't be methylated anymore.
So mutations disrupt these methylation sites, affecting gene expression?
Precisely. And here's the interesting part. Methylation can also influence where mutations occur. It's like a
Interesting.
two-way street, or maybe like a dance between the two.
That definitely adds a new twist.
Yeah, and they found that mutations at CpG sites had less methylation, and nearby sites became hypermethylated. It's like tossing a stone in a pond and watching the ripples spread out.
That's a great analogy. But didn't they use data from cancer patients? Could that affect the results?
That's a valid concern.
Right.
The study did analyze data from over 9,000 cancer patients, so they acknowledge they need to replicate the findings in healthy individuals.
Because cancer cells might behave differently, right?
Exactly. Cancer cells have their own agendas, so to speak.
Yeah.
So while the findings are significant, we have to be cautious.
So, are they suggesting that mutations drive aging and epigenetic changes are just along for the ride?
That's one theory. If that's the case, reversing aging might mean we need to fix these DNA mutations, not just adjust the epigenetic markers.
That sounds like a monumental task. It's like trying to fix every typo in an encyclopedia by hand.
Exactly. It's a huge challenge.
Yeah.
But with advances in gene editing technologies, who knows what's possible?
But couldn't it be that both mutations and epigenetic changes are symptoms of some underlying process?
That's another possibility. It's
Right.
like maybe we're missing the forest for the trees. There could be another factor driving both.
It's a real puzzle, isn't it?
Absolutely. And that's why more research is needed. Future studies could help us untangle this web.
Definitely. So what's the practical takeaway here? Are we any closer to extending human lifespan?
Well, it's a step forward. Understanding the relationship between mutations and epigenetic changes could open new avenues for anti-aging therapies. But we're not quite there yet.
It's like we're assembling a giant jigsaw puzzle without the picture on the box.
Exactly. We're putting pieces together, but the full image is still coming into focus. But each
Yeah.
piece brings us closer.
Well, it's exciting to think about where this research could lead.
Absolutely. It's an exciting
Yeah.
time in aging research.
Thanks for breaking this down. I feel like I understand the aging process a bit better now.
Anytime. Always happy to share these fascinating discoveries.